Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, wake up.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of College Podcast, episode 3 of season 3. Stackz, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm wonderful.
You
We
sure?
jumped
You
to
sure
season
about
3,
that?
huh? We jumped to
Yeah.
season 3. It threw me back for a second. I was like, wait, I thought it was season 2, but
Did I say
season 3.
season 3?
It's all up. It's all up. You
Listen,
know what I'm
that must mean I'm ready to start season 3,
saying?
even
Man,
though we just
you
getting
ready to get
started.
this thing on moving. You ready to get this thing on
I
moving, man.
am, honestly, I really am. But yeah, brother, listen, welcome back to another episode of College Podcast. Javaris here, Stacksdale Bridge, forever in the building. Week 2, one word to describe week 2. Interesting. I would say one word to describe week 2 would be I don't know. It was very meh. I guess it was meh. Like
Well,
it wasn't.
it's
Yeah,
interesting.
it wasn't really like nothing spectacular. It wasn't. I will say it had some high moments, but it also had some low moments. It was almost like it kind of was battling for week 1 spot. Like week 1 had its highs and lows, but I think week 2 was definitely like you can say interesting, but I would definitely say it was meh. Like some of the stuff
Well,
that
I
happened was
say
not.
interesting because it's interesting to see how some of these teams favored against
Yeah,
teams that were not so great. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, okay, it's interesting. Like you thought you was this, but you just got hit in the mouth. Now how you gonna come back? So that's why I say May is a very great explanation for week 2. But I say interesting in the sense of wow, these teams really got beat, or these teams really played this mediocre, or this great for some teams. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's definitely interesting. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't fun, especially if you were like me on the other end of the upset, you
Oh
know.
man.
So yeah, I mean, very
Well,
interesting.
now that you on it, let's talk about it. Auburn gets upset to Cal, and it just a disappointing fashion. I mean, Peyton Thorne throws 4 interceptions and just absolutely stunk up Jordan Hare Stadium. How do you feel about that?
Um, I think it's a lot of what we saw last year.
Hmm.
Like I think now he just has playmakers. So like week 1, we kind of got spoiled. We was playing a team that we supposed to beat, but we did it in a fashion where like, oh, this could be exciting this year if this stuff continues to click. But as we all know, um, football and whether on the college level or the pro level, it's all about consistency. I mean, that's with any sport, but can you do it week in and week out? Like, I mean, I'm not by no means saying Peyton Thorne throw for 400 yards every week. I mean, that would be beautiful, but I mean, we just saw a lot of things we saw last year, like him making bogus decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, a lot of people want to blame the line, but I don't necessarily want to blame the line completely. Like, I mean, they could have played better, obviously, but um, Peyton Thorne, you're not a rookie, you're not a freshman, you're not a sophomore. You've been playing a lot of football, so some of these mistakes that you've been making or that you made last week uh shouldn't be made. Like you got to like it seems almost to me like he's a practice player. Like he does very well in practice, but then when game time comes, it's like all that goes out the window. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I know there's such thing as great practice players, and then there's a such thing as great game day players. Like and then you have players that can put it all together, look good in practice and play great in the game. So I mean, much like last year when we played Cal, it was a wild game, should I say. I was hoping for a better showing, like how the game started out. It kind of started like that last year in similar fashion with the weird fumble, interception, whatever you want to call it. Last year, I believe it was an interception, and they got called back. And this year was a fumble, and it got called back. So to start the game, first play of the game. So I mean, Peyton Thorne did some good things. That the touchdown that he did throw, um, to the sideline to Lambert Smith was a great precision pass. So I don't want to just completely say he didn't have any good looks, but overall he's got to be better. And I mean, Hugh Freeze, I saw a statement he came out with saying Peyton Thorne has been the best quarterback that we've had, in practice, which, like I said, he's a great practice player. Like, you can look good in practice, but it doesn't translate in the game. And he even said it. He said if he did half of the stuff that he did in practice in the game, be great. So Hugh Freeze literally said it's got to translate to the game, and if it doesn't, he's already starting to give Hank Brown some reps, which Hank Brown he did pretty good for us in the Maryland game last year. I mean, even though we lost that one, but you know, I don't think Peyton Thorne's the future. I mean, obviously, because this will be his last year, I would imagine. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a long season if this is the Peyton Thorne that we're gonna get. We were hoping, he had a full off season, full spring to get prepared with his guys. First game of the season looked great. Chemistry seemed to be there. Cam Coleman was everything that we thought he would be. So now it's like Hugh Freeze, if you continue to play him, now you risk losing your Freeze 5. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see. I was very upset as an Auburn fan, as a football fan in general. Like, he's got to be better. That's at bottom line. He's got to be better.
Yeah.
Got to be better.
Honestly, I genuinely feel the same way, and I know I kind of don't have room to talk, not being an Auburn fan, but I praised him during the spring game, but of course that was really just again, it was literally a practice, but just with people in the stands, and
Right.
Peyton looked a lot more comfortable in the pocket, and you could tell that he had really been working on his progressions during the off season and during fall camp, summer camp. But I think he freezes up when it comes to games, and I mean he just can't get it together. And I mean, as an Auburn fan, I feel for y'all because y'all have been through so much, as a program, and y'all have been waiting to, really hit that pedal to, make it into the to the CFB playoffs, and just year after year of hoping and waiting for that true playmaker to come in and make that difference for y'all, and it's not going to be Peyton Thorne. I hate to put it that way, but it's just not
Oh
going to
yeah,
be him.
yeah. I think you would
And
agree for a change with every Auburn fan
Mhm.
in the world. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think that nobody is out here saying that Peyton Thorne is the future. We just hopeful for what we got. Like, I mean, it's
yeah.
not gonna be easier with the schedule. So yeah, I completely agree. I don't think we're gonna get it done with him either.
Mm. And I mean, it's just again unfortunate. I am a fan of Auburn, Alabama. I mean, I enjoy going to visit. I enjoy the people there. The people are great. Um, but yeah, I mean, I want to see you guys make it into the playoff picture because again, you guys have a fun environment. Again, like y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it more than a lot of schools that make it in. So I think that um, of course there probably needs some adjustments made. I know I was probably saying it out of frustration on Saturday, but again, it could be true to this right now. But I think he needs to be benched next game to see how Hank Brown does. I'm looking now to see who you guys have next game.
New Mexico State.
Yeah, New Mexico State, and so I think that was the game y'all played in y'all bowl game last season, correct?
No, we played Maryland last year. New Mexico State was the loss that we took.
Yeah,
Quarterback. Now Vanderbilt's quarterback.
that's
So,
right. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
yeah.
so I mean Vanderbilt. I mean, New Mexico State is definitely not a team that you should
Mhm.
take lightly. So,
Right.
not saying that we shouldn't handle business, but just it's it's personal.
Mhm.
Like I would have thought they would have took the Cal game personal because Cal game last year, like we looked terrible. Both teams looked terrible. I mean, it was a late game, but still, everybody looked terrible except for one player, and that was on the defensive side of the ball, Asante. But I mean, yeah, that's a lot to go into it. But I mean, we got to be better. At the end of the day, we got to be better. I think Hank Brown deserves some reps that we can get up on the score early. You know, and this chance for Peyton Thorne to come back out and get back right. Like I mean, hope is not lost. If he can come, and perform well against New Mexico State and perform well in the next two games. I mean, we got Georgia in a couple weeks, so if he can perform eh, decent enough to, make it competitive again, I think that, I like our chances against anybody else that we play against.
Mhm.
But, I mean, looking at the schedule, we should have been undefeated going into the Georgia game, in my opinion. You
I
know,
agree. Agree. And I mean, it sucks. It really does. And I mean, again, so many playmakers this year, like you said, Lampert Smith and then Cam Coleman. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jarquez Hunter. Some has to give. And I mean, Coach Freeze has to really do some soul searching to be like, okay, like the time is now. Like we have to keep these fans coming back to Jordan Hare to experience the traditions, the wins, the Auburn hopeful, the Auburn faithful. You know what I'm saying? And that can't happen if you guys keep taking L after L. So I really hope that Auburn gets it together coming up against New Mexico State. And I mean, even I think y'all come to Athens this year, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna
Yeah, I
be
mean,
it's gonna be rough.
and to be fair, this is probably the easiest schedule we've had in God knows how long. Like, I mean, schedule's definitely not easy, but it's definitely the easiest one we've had. Like, we've for sure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so this was the time, like, to not necessarily make playoffs, but at least get an 8-win, 9-win season going
Yeah.
on. I would have thought that our only losses might have been Alabama, Georgia, and maybe another, you know what I'm saying, like a Oklahoma or something. But
Yeah.
so I mean, I can live with that just because we got a new coach. He's second year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, still got some growing pains, but we've fixed a lot of issues that we had in the past. But now the issue is the quarterback. Like
Mhm.
so I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do we get somebody from the transfer portal next year? I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's see. But I don't.
I agree. I agree, and I think again to kind of close on that there needs to be a change made immediately in Auburn, Alabama. But dude, I definitely want to I know we were talking pre-show about some of the games. I definitely want to go ahead and knock this Notre Dame Northern Illinois game out the way before
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we even get
First
too
of
deep into
all,
the show.
congratulations to Northern Illinois, which
Yeah.
I think it's first year head coach, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, what a win! What a way to what I'm saying, get your season started off. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you take down Power Five, top five school. Like you know what I'm saying. That's major.
Yeah.
You know. Kudos to them. I mean, and it goes back to what I said before. Notre Dame can't get over the hump. You know, it's usually the big games that they can't get past. It seemed like, but this year they got past a big game and then, you know, struggled on the game they were supposed to win. Like, but that goes to show you one, talent gap closing. Two, you cannot take anybody lightly. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, there's any given. Saturday, you can be beat.
Oh yeah, and it looks like from what I'm looking at here, former Duke quarterback Riley Leonard, who's now in Notre Dame, 2 interceptions, a fumble, and didn't throw a single touchdown. I mean, from what it looks like, brother, you could have stayed at Duke doing that.
Right. Like I
And
mean,
now you got Texas backup Malik Murphy at Duke now. Doing what he's doing, but man, this is. I mean, honestly, this game right here proves every single season that Notre Dame puts up so much talk, and they come out here and do whatever it takes to win. They had the big win against Texas A&M last week, and then they go out here and lose to a team that probably won't even scratch the surface of even probably playing a top 25 school again this season, and lose. They lose that, bro. They lost to a field goal, dude. Like it frustrates me because Notre Dame is back, fighting Irish this, fighting Irish that. Join a conference. How about that? Join a conference and
they might,
actually
at this point,
make
they
a
might not
bid.
need to. They might not need to. 'Cause it might be worse. Just being
It's
honest. But this
ridiculous.
is Notre Dame's typical fashion.
Yeah,
Like that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, this is what they do. Like it's always a game where it turns it around for them and they go down here. Like you can't have that happen. Not against a team like that. Like
yeah.
you struggle against a team like that. It's not gonna get no easier for you if you want to make playoffs. Like that's
It's frustrating. It's
yeah.
so
I mean,
frustrating, dude.
you put all that noise up. You made it seem like you were. This was your year. This was this, that, and the third. You sounding real Colorado-ish right now. I'm just being honest. You big hype, a lot of talk. All eyes on you, just for you to be mediocre and get upset. Like I mean,
Right.
that's just being honest. But it goes to show me also too that right now, I mean, I always said this: everybody's chasing Georgia, but right now, I don't see. I'm not confident in anybody at this
Mhm.
point in the season. Like, and that's the first time I've been able to say that. At the beginning of the season, like I'm not confident in anybody. Like, because although Georgia beat their team, beat their opponents, by a good margin, it wasn't as big of a margin as I would expect from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to say that they're not gonna be Georgia, and they're not gonna be great in the future. Just as of right now, I don't see a clear cut path to the, what I'm saying, national championship. Like I mean, you know, so I mean, yeah, but Notre Dame's got to be better. Looking for them. It's a new day, new age, new era in college football playoffs. So they're not out, but you have literally no room for error at this point. So now that you got the loss out the way, now it's time to get right, play football, man. I mean, let's just be real.
Now the talk of the town is, where does this put head coach Marcus Freeman's job security after a loss like this? Because he and other coaches, of course, that we've talked about over the past few weeks, have definitely been on the hot seat. Him, Billy Napier at Florida,
Oh,
Ryan Day. All these guys are on the hot seat, and if they take losses like this, they're out. Like, they are
for sure.
gone. They are gone.
The only way he could save his job at this point right now, in my opinion, outside of a change of heart from, what I'm saying, the head people, the boosters and things like that, is if he wins out. Like
Mhm.
you literally have to win out, make playoffs, and not just make playoffs, but make the championship. And not just make the championship, but win it. And that is a lot of variables to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it can't be done, but you think about it, like you inherited a team that was already pretty decent with a name already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the recruits are gonna come. Like, so you've inherited a program that's already been built and established. all you had to do was just take it over the hump. Much like I mean not quite in this fashion, but much like Kirby Smart. Like I'm not saying that Kirby Smart's a bad coach or anything like that, but he inherited a program that was established that, he just had to put a few more pieces together and get over that hump. Like you mean to tell me that any coach wouldn't want to inherit a Sony Michelle, a Todd Gurley, all you know what I'm saying? So you inherit a program that you just all you had to do is fix a couple things, and that's what he had. That's essentially the position that he was in. Wasn't like the Auburn where they, were set up for failure, got a new head coach, and then the head coach has to start from scratch. Then I can kind of understand. We can have a little more. I can have a little more patience. I know the
Mhm.
fans are not really gonna have patience like that, but me personally, I'm realistic, so I'll have a little more patience. But um, you inherited a team that was pretty much established. Like the name Notre Dame Fighting Irish, pretty much established. The recruits were coming. You had the recruits, so and you still have the people who want to transfer. Obviously, getting two top tier quarterbacks out of the portal from the last 2 years. So, but you can't get over the hump. So something's got to give. So that tells me that either you're picking wrong or you're picking the wrong. You be picking the wrong players or you're picking the wrong staff members. One of the two. Because I mean, let's be real. We all know the head coach is just the face guy. No head coach is anything without his coordinators. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I mean, I don't know what it is, but he has little room for error. So, I mean, the only
There,
way, in my opinion, he could say the same as Ryan Day. If even though he hasn't lost yet, but if they lose to Michigan, later on in the season, or they don't make playoffs, he's gone because Ohio, because he much like a few of these other coaches inherited a team that was established, that had players, that had, you know what I'm saying, like you couldn't get over the hump. You had C.J. Stroud. You had Justin Fields. You got a $200 million team thing that you know what I'm saying. Like I ain't not $200 million, but $20 million team. So let's not get it twisted. Joker's gotta. Everybody has to make a push right now to get a championship, and I think that's what's gonna make this year so much fun because every coach Side Kirby Smart and Mike DeBoer. I mean, was it Mike DeBoer? That's how you say it?
Kalen DeBoer.
Halen DeBoer. I don't know why I keep mixing his name up. Golly. But to me, those are the only two right now that are safe. You
Mhm.
know? You know what I'm saying? So,
I wouldn't. Well, I I want to hop on Kalen DeBoer later on because it was a game before that. But no, you're right. You're very much correct on that.
I mean, we could go ahead and go to Taylor DeBoer. Let's go ahead and
Well,
take
I wanted to hit on Texas, Michigan for sure before we hit on Alabama and South Florida because that game right there. I mean, it pretty much our prediction was correct on that game.
plain and simple. Texas put it on them, Joe.
Yeah.
And Michigan, it ain't Michigan that we know will pass.
Hmm.
But it's not over with for them. Like I
No,
say,
but
new
it,
day.
it, it definitely it definitely answered a lot of questions as far as is Texas as good as we think they are? Potentially.
But it don't necessarily do though, because is Texas as good as they are, or is Michigan just as bad as they looked on Saturday?
Fair.
I mean, that's
Fair.
you
And
know
also, it answered my question as far as who would be getting the starting QB nod this game for Michigan, which was Davis Warren and not Alex Orji, which I'm still trying to understand what is going on with that. I need to look more into it. I'm not going to sound ignorant to the fact of why he isn't starting, so I do want to do my research as to why Alex Orji isn't starting. But I mean, it doesn't. I mean, honestly, it doesn't look like both are really doing too hot. I mean, Darius Warren throws 2 interceptions, and I mean, it just was not Michigan's day last Saturday.
yeah. That cut and dry. Michigan need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Texas don't get the big head, but definitely carry this momentum into next week.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and keep the ball rolling. Because I mean, it's not gonna get any easier for for them either, but at least they got a big win at a early against a big time opponent. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I mean, before going into conference play, so
Right.
now you kind of see that your team can beat these teams and everything like that. So now you just got to go out there and do it. Because I mean,
Luckily for Texas, they still have one more. Well, actually, like two more games before conference play. They have UTSA and then they have UL Monroe, who they should
I
take
mean,
care
yeah,
of.
but that's what I'm saying. Like they got a big time win like that over
Mhm.
Michigan, which is a big time, big time opponent.
Program, yeah, the defending national
Early on. I
champion.
mean, you got that going into two teams you're supposed to annihilate.
Yeah.
So that's momentum. The confidence going into conference play is going to be through the roof.
Oh yeah.
And then don't let them win their first conference game, and then you're not going to be able to tell Texas anything.
Well, check this out. They have Mississippi State as their first conference game, and then they play Oklahoma. So they
Well,
are definitely going
wait,
to be rolling
now,
in hot.
now, listen, hear me out. Like I said, if they keep this going, they beat Mississippi State,
Mhm.
which I have no doubt that they will. Going into Oklahoma, that's a rivalry game with all the momentum, with all the confidence in the world. They should beat Oklahoma. There's no reason why
Yeah,
they shouldn't. You know what I mean? You got a team that's hot. They played a big time opponent, beat them. Oh, they've already won in their conference, and then you go and play your rival and it's conference play, and it's come on, man, like let's they should. I mean, me personally, I'm thinking that they go into it. They go into the Oklahoma game undefeated, no doubt in my mind that they beat Oklahoma and potentially, not saying they will, but potentially win out. Like I
yeah,
mean, it's because I mean, as long as they don't take anybody lightly, all the momentum's on this side. The chemistry is there.
yeah.
They've already beat a big time team. And if you go beat the biggest rival that you got, come on.
Can we kind of just hit on real quick about how poised Quinn Ewers is looking right now? Like this man is really making a, a really great resume for himself this year as a Heisman finalist.
He tried. I mean, not even just Heisman, but draft stock
Oh
going up.
yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know, last year's class was obviously loaded. With a
Mhm.
lot of talent. This year he was trying to make a case for himself. Like a lot of people, I don't want to know why, but a lot of people overlooked him. Like I mean, a lot of people, like even we got some backlash to having him in our top five. You know what I'm saying? Which is blasphemy to me that you wouldn't have him in your top five because I mean, the guy made playoffs last year. He beat a big team early on last year in Bama. I mean, like
Yeah.
let's be real. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, he's shown that he can win and he can win big games. Now he just has to win big games on the big stage, meaning in the playoffs. And this year it ain't gonna be easier because now you got more games, more teams. So I
Right.
mean, but I love how he's looking. He looks calm. He looks cool, collected.
Oh
The
yeah.
chemistry between him and his receivers is there. Like I mean, like it's like man, if he keeps this up, I don't see. I see him lifting some hardware at the end of the year.
I gotta say it, and you're gonna hate me for saying it, but Prize Picks messed up this past Saturday, putting this man's passing touchdowns at 1.5. I mean, we kind of now. My biggest fear was how Will Johnson was gonna play against Isaiah Bond, and of course, my slip didn't do too hot again. The slump continues, ladies and gentlemen. But man, I mean, what a game to just kind of like. This was my first time actually testing Texas on my slips. So I took Isaiah Bond's receiving yards and I took um, Quinn Ewers for the passing touchdowns, which was at 2. And so it was great. It was fun to kind of experiment with them. I'm going to hit this year, bro. I have to hit this one.
For sure.
So
And
it's
be able to tell me about it because I ain't playing. So
I will. Well, hopefully I'm with you, and so you can see. but I mean, we've been around each other for the past 2 weekends, so it's been pretty cool to kind of be able to watch the games together. And also shout out to YouTube TV for the for the multi-view.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, we've been having a blast these past 2 weekends, but unfortunately we gonna be apart this weekend for week 3. But yeah, man, Texas is rolling hot. Texas is rolling hot. Michigan will not be 10 after this week coming up. So yeah, let's go ahead and flip over to Alabama and USF, which was a team. They played each other last year, correct?
Yeah, and Bama barely escaped last year.
Yeah, and it almost happened again this year, but they kind of started finding their groove in that
Well,
second
well,
half.
I mean, USF is no slouch,
Yeah.
like they just said, because I mean that is still in Florida, and we know Florida got a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? USF's kind of where the players that fall through the cracks go. You know what I'm saying? So they D1 talent. They just fell through the cracks for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, this is not a. I mean, Nick Saban definitely struggled with them last year. I mean, he experimented with several different quarterbacks, but the name of the game is this. I mean, you don't get upset. Like, don't get me wrong, the game may be close, but you didn't get upset. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of pulled away a little bit at the end. So I mean, yeah, they didn't look the greatest at all. I mean, like I said, I mean, to me, nobody looked that great. Like, to the point to where it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the team to win the championship. But for me at least, I mean, other people might have their own opinions, but for my opinion, nobody looked like they were just running away with it. Um, but I mean, Bama will be fine because I mean, after the USF game last year is when they started really hitting their stride and started, establishing themselves. I mean, you think about it, you got everybody pretty much on Bama is new to Bama. Like, you know what I'm saying, new playing with each other for the most part. I mean, you had dang near the whole team transfer out, you know, and
Yeah.
then you got all these new players coming in. So I mean, it's take some time. Now, if they're still looking like this week 5, I mean, oh yeah, they might be in trouble. I'm just
Yeah.
being honest. Like, I mean, well, really, if they still looking like this against Georgia in a couple weeks, they probably gonna be in trouble. Because I mean, Georgia's gunning for them because Georgia got a chip on their shoulder from last year. So I mean, like I said, after the USF game last year, to me, that's when they really started to gel and find themselves. I mean, and hopefully, even though I cannot stand Bama, hopefully, I do like Jalen Milroe. Yeah, I like DeBoer as well. From what I've seen, hopefully they get it together. I mean, it's crazy, insane to me that a lot of people are holding a championship, holding the board to a championship standard his first year at Bama. But that just goes to tell you what the expectation at Bama is and why a lot of people did not want to take their job. Because there's no slump now. Like, there's no, like, when most programs, you get a year, maybe 2 years to get it together. After year 3, you're supposed to be together to have everything rolling.
Right.
Not at Alabama. Not
Yeah.
at Alabama. You come in Alabama, they expect championship, and if you don't get a championship, they're gonna tear you apart. I'm just being honest. So I mean, not out of it yet. Luckily for them, some teams lost, some teams didn't look that great. That were, in the top 5, top 10. So um yeah, I mean, I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll be all right. They got a good coach, good head coach. They got a veteran quarterback that's been in this exact position last year. The credit to them, the only difference is they haven't lost. Last year, by this time, they had already lost to Texas. So, so I think Bama's in a good spot. You know, they definitely had to get hit in the mouth early to let them know, like, hey, ain't nobody gonna play with you. Ain't nobody gonna take you light. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody intimidated by the fact that you Bama. Ain't nobody just same thing with Georgia. Ain't nobody intimidated no more that you Georgia. Like, everybody want to be the team that take out the big dogs. Like, I mean, Cal showed at Auburn. I mean, Auburn is definitely not a top 5, top 10 school right now, but everybody wants to take out the teams that are big names. Like that's just it makes you proud, and as it should, So, I mean, I think the board's job is not in jeopardy as of yet. To fans, maybe, but to the boosters and stuff like that, like they know. Like, I mean, you literally lose your entire team. Like,
Mm.
you literally have to get everybody on the same page. You know, and they've never played with each other before for real. So I mean, you know, now next year, Joe starts struggling. Okay, you know, what are we doing? But I mean, I think right now his job is not in jeopardy.
I,
You know,
I I agree, and I mean, of course, there was some head shaking going on right before halftime of that Alabama USF game because like this is not the Alabama way. Again, we always talk about the standard for Alabama, and the fans there at Bryant Denny, but they want to start out fast and go ahead and be hitting the bars by halftime. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to wait around the entire game to be on the edge of their seats to try to come out with a win. So I understand why this game was on pretty much upset alert because the fear of losing a game like this in your first season can be um can be devastating, and it could definitely be a letdown to a lot of fans across Alabama and across the country. So, one thing I did want to hit on before we switch over to the next game, Jam Miller and Justice Haynes. This is a running back tandem that I really wanted to hit on before. um, Jam Miller didn't really see a lot from the game last week, but he came out this game 140 rushing yards, and I think Justice Haynes was just like, "Hey, brother, you take over this game. I had my game last week." That if we see a lot more of this duo, the SEC rushing game is probably going to be in trouble. Like that is something that's going to be severe in the SEC for this year. But there's always been a lot of great running back tandems in the SEC, but this one right here, I don't think there's any other comparable tandem like this one that we're seeing right here with Alabama. So I just wanted to take note of that real quick because that is crazy.
maybe this year, but
Yeah, maybe this year. So
overall, yeah, I mean, 'cause I mean, you had Son of Cher, Gurley,
yeah,
and Chubb in the same
oh
backfield.
yeah,
So,
exactly. But
you know,
that was what 6 7 years ago. I'm talking about this year in general. Like
no,
that's
I'm saying like
yeah,
maybe this year, but
yeah,
I'm just saying in general. I mean, we in the SEC we're used to seeing the running back tandems. I mean, so I
right,
mean, we always gonna have like if we ain't got nothing else, we gonna have defense and we gonna have running backs.
yeah.
And now we starting to get to be overall the overall package. So,
Mhm.
well, yeah, no, I mean they definitely been playing pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, but we gotta get some more competition in there, see if they still do that same thing.
Right.
They haven't really had any competition yet. USF. I mean, you're supposed to do that against USF, but the score did not translate to all of those stats. I mean, in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Arkansas, Oklahoma State. We didn't really get a chance to watch this game, but this was the first game for no, this was not the first game, but it was a game that I thought that Ollie Gordon would absolutely go insane, and that didn't happen. This game went into double overtime, brother. Like I was shocked myself. I there's somebody out there that's gonna see this. Hopefully, this becomes a teaser clip. They're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, "I told you so," because I predicted Oklahoma State to literally boat race Arkansas, and yeah, this dude Taylor Green, 416 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Allen Bowman from Oklahoma State, 326 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Now, Allen Bowman kind of did a little bit of this last season. Just throwing crazy amount of passing yards. But I'm just really shocked about this man, Ollie Gordon, not having over 100 rushing yards. Like this man literally averages per game over 100. So to see him kind of on an island this past week was insane.
When your quarterback throwing 400 some yards, I mean, the running game is not just going to take a back seat.
Right.
Because I mean, neither one of these teams was like on the brink of competing for a championship or nothing. Like the defenses are not like super tough. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, not saying they can't be in the future, but right now they're not super tough. Like, and that shows you that like that you got 400 some yards passing. And you come on now.
But like Arkansas's running back Jaquindon Jackson, 149 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. What? What? No, this is that's just crazy to me. Like
Yeah, that's just bad defense.
that is horrible defense. So I don't
So
know. Again,
you
we
got
didn't.
that 500 yards all on both
Right.
sides.
Right.
Like, come on.
But my thing is, again, Stackz and I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but I was really praying that Ollie Gordon had a showing. Just kind of see if he still got it. From carrying on from last season, and it just did not look hot. Like it did not look. It didn't look promising at all. Like I'm looking now at his previous games. Yeah, like South Dakota State, he had 126, but you struggle against Arkansas.
That's a big difference.
That is a huge difference, but at the same time,
But you
I,
gotta understand
Arkansas,
too.
huh?
You gotta understand something too. Running back is only as good as his line.
I
So
and I agree to that, but at the same time, Arkansas's defense was like number 6 in points allowed last season. So if they have went into the portal and if they have got some guys and studs out there in that defense
but
this season,
you gotta think
I apologize, but what are we witnessing right now going on in Arkansas?
where was Oklahoma State? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Look what they had ranked last year. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Like I
But
mean, let's be real. Both of these teams, like I mean, they look good
mhm,
to watch, but at the same time, I mean, we know these teams are not like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like
But
like
I will give Arkansas the benefit of the doubt because their head coach was Jim Chaney, the former O-line coach from Georgia. And so I've always been a huge fan of Jim Chaney. Now, if he's building a brick wall of an O-line at Arkansas for their quarterback to be throwing 400 plus yards, again, I apologize. That is incredible for Arkansas. But for this man, Ollie Gordon to not have over 100 yards rushing is really like
how many
it's,
yards did he
it's
have?
huh?
How many yards did he have?
46.
How many attempts?
Uh, let's see here. It was 49. I'm sorry. He had 17 carries. His longest was 12 yards. That is not the Ollie Gordon way, brother.
Yeah, how many pass attempts was it? It had to be over 40 something.
Oh, it was 48 for
Right.
Allie
So
Bowman.
that tells me that the line was not that great.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't blame a running back if they have no line. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'm not. Everybody ain't Barry Sanders. Everybody ain't gonna break
Yeah.
12 tackles in the backfield, get upfield. Like I'm just being real.
Right.
So I mean, but you have two teams that apparently are equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Oklahoma State to me has not really been like that pinnacle of anything, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even last year they didn't do super great last year either. So I mean, I think they were just equally yoked, and Arkansas's line was just better than their line, at this point, in the season. That ain't saying nothing that Arkansas is just that great, or Oklahoma State is just that bad. It's just they were equally yoked and better that day. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can't really give any one of them the nod, for that game, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's like playing bad on bad. That's putting a hat on a hat. Like it's like no, like
Bro, hat on a hat always takes me out. I don't know why, but hat on a hat does it for me every time. But yeah, man. Anyway, Florida Stanford. I know I'm throwing this in at the last minute. I just wanted to talk about DJ Langford, the quarterback for Florida. Graham Mertz was pretty much just on the back burner for this game. 456 yards and 3 touchdowns. I got a chance to talk to some Florida fans this past week and just ask them, like, how do you feel about, DJ Lagway? Who am I talking about? DJ Lagway. And they were just like, man, he did what he had to do. And, they hope he gets it down for the rest of the season. But at the same time, they were just like, this guy's probably going to transfer out after this season, try to go to a bigger program. And I'm like, that's fair. If Florida just can't get it done, and with a talent like this guy right here, he's probably going to end up transferring to another program and potentially try to fight for a championship. So, just wanted to give him a shout out. Again, they played Sanford, so we're not going to dive too deep into that game. But yeah, it just a guy, just one of the guys I wanted to highlight before we get into our previews for week 3, and also Boise State running back Ashton Genty. So you know what's crazy? We actually watched the Boise State Georgia Southern game that was in week 1, and we didn't even pay attention to the running back that Boise State had. This guy ran 6 touchdowns against Georgia Southern for 267 yards, brother. And we didn't even blink an eye at it. And then, they played Oregon.
That's what he's supposed to do.
I agree. Yeah. And guess who didn't do it? Ollie Gordon. But anyway, but yeah.
It's Georgia Southern.
I mean, yeah. Agreed. But at the same time, that's crazy. Like, this man has already put up Heisman numbers in the last 2 weeks.
I remember watching that game.
Yeah.
It's Georgia Southern. I can't give you kudos for that. For me personally, it's what you're supposed to do.
I agree.
Why you scared of those games?
But hold on, because if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the Nevada. No, it was the Boise State game. If I'm not mistaken, because this game went into like 3 overtimes. No, it was the. No, I take that back. It was the Nevada game when Georgia Southern played. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was a game that they played where it went into overtime, and I can't find it. Huh? Okay. Well, never mind. None of their games went into overtime.
The Georgia Southern game was close too. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're right. I don't know why I thought that game went into overtime.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have. I can't remember.
Yeah, it didn't.
But I can't give you kudos for that. Like, I can't. Like,
yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do. Like, no knock to Georgia Southern, but you literally got put on a schedule to be bullied. Like, it just so happens that sometimes, which almost happened, sometimes they beat big teams. Like, it happens. Like, let's just be real. But as a big school with that much pool or that much more money to get all these players, it's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you're supposed to.
But at the same time, he almost did it against Oregon. Now, let me tell you the Oregon stats: 192 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, with his longest going for 70 yards. Now, how about that?
Oregon's defense.
But at the same time, Oregon is not looking like Oregon this year.
Yeah, at all. But I can give you more kudos for that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you do it against Oregon, and you know what I'm saying, all of that. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
I can give you that. Right. So now you starting to get my attention. But if you're not getting my attention, you do it against Georgia.
That man said, "I'm intrigued now." You
yeah. Now I start paying attention because you do it against Oregon. But
all right.
All
right. I hear you. All right. Well, let's go ahead and we did really well with rapid fire today. 48 minutes in, we still got time to preview week 3. But yeah, man. All right. So week 3. I think everybody's pretty much counting this as a game of the week. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of it, but hey, I guess other people are. LSU, South Carolina, 12 p.m. on ABC. Now we got a chance to see what LSU looks like. So
got a chance to see what South Carolina looks like.
Yeah, we do get a chance to see what South Carolina looks like. Shane Beamer has a huge task against him with LSU, but We'll see. Who you
Yeah,
going with? What you think?
I got LSU
Okay.
just because I mean, I think they got more consistency
Okay.
than South Carolina does, but I got LSU in that.
All
That's for
right.
me.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm kind of skipping around here. 12:45 SEC Network. ACC versus SEC matchup. We got Mizzou, number 6 Mizzou versus 24 Boston College. Who you got?
This is interesting because Boston College looks really good, but I got
Mhm.
Mizzou. I got
Yeah,
Mizzou.
I'm gonna go Mizzou on this one. I'm a huge fan of Brady Cook. I'm a huge fan of Luther Burden. I love that connection they got going on down there in Missouri. So yeah, I got Mizzou this game. Um, uh, so 8 on Friday at 8 on Fox, we got Arizona and Kansas State. 20 Arizona against 14 Kansas State. So
I got Kansas with the. I mean Arizona. I got Arizona with the upset.
with the upset, right?
Yeah.
I feel the same way because not only has Arizona been looking good, but if you played with Arizona on College Football 25, you know how their playbook looks. And if they're running multiple options like how they are in real life, I mean on the game, then I would 100% have to take Arizona. And I think Arizona has a few studs on this squad too. I can't think of names off the top of my head, but they got a few guys to look out for as well. Uh, we got a rivalry game, Oregon State and Oregon. Why are these rivalry games playing so early? I mean, like early in the season. Um,
Getting that confidence together. But
I guess.
I got
Three
Oregon
thirty.
State with the upset this week.
You got Oregon State with the upset. Okay, excuse me. All right. Well, I listen. I don't know who to take on this because Oregon does not look too
Because
hot.
Oregon doesn't look too
But I
convincing.
have not seen what Oregon State looks like, so I'm a listen. I'm gonna stay out of that one. Um, let's see here. Georgia at Kentucky, 7:30 ABC on Saturday.
That's Georgia all day long.
All right,
That's the
yeah,
easiest one you to be made.
I gotta go with my boys. Oklahoma and Tulane, 15 Oklahoma and Tulane, 3:30 ESPN.
Yeah, poor Oklahoma got that one.
All right, Florida Texas A&M, 3:30 ABC.
Oh shoot, I got Texas A&M. Florida
Yeah,
ain't doing it.
from what they played against Notre Dame, they look really well. Um, oh my God, it's that
Florida
time.
didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed too much by
Mhm.
A&M either, but
Yeah.
they look better than Florida. I tell you that.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. This is one of those games where you got to like,
Florida lose this game, Napier is out of there.
oh, 100%. And you know, I kept saying it was going to be the UCF game, but this may be the game where he's out for sure, 100%, 100%. So yeah, I can't even give him an extension. Like he's out after this game. All right, brother. This game is a lot earlier now. 7:30 CBS, Colorado State. Who you got?
Colorado State. That's easy. I tried to rock with Dion. I didn't want to do it too last
Oh
week.
my God.
I did not want to go. I did not
Oh.
want to go with you at all last week, but I wanted and I gotta rock with you. Can't do it no more. And as much junk as y'all talk, for y'all to lose to
Oh.
Nebraska,
Oh.
and for Shador to come in that interview and blame everybody but himself for losing, y'all may not make a bowl game in this year. I'm just being honest. I can't do it. I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Honestly, man,
But I
I'm
said,
over.
but then I said after that first game,
Yeah.
they didn't look that great.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Against a team they were supposed to. You know?
Yeah.
But
That's
anyway, go
why.
ahead.
That's the. That's
Got
it. That's exactly why I doubled down on my Nebraska pick because I just knew Dylan Rayola was going to be something special. I mean, granted, yeah, all the recruiting trail that he went on, flipping from Georgia to Nebraska. But that kid can play football. Like, if you got a chance to go watch him down in Buford, Georgia, for Buford High School, you can tell like the kid can play ball, and you gotta respect it. So I kind of knew that they were gonna come away with the win, especially at home. Like Nebraska is nuts. So
But in
yeah, but
Mexico, like you could do nothing. They
nothing,
nothing.
nothing, bro.
So y'all talk about the line. We talk about that Shador wasn't gonna get touched like that. Shador talk. My boy held the ball for 30 years. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like it, now I'm seeing why it came to Colorado. Came to Colorado because it's a big opportunity to get eyes on Shador and Shiloh and Travis Hunter. It makes sense because although they've been talking all this junk about how they're gonna make a championship and all this or contend for a play, no, you're not gonna do it. Nah, cause no,
Yeah,
you haven't really done anything to write home about it. And for the people that say, "Oh well, nobody said they're gonna win a championship," bull honky, they got there and said
they've
it
said it. They've
last
said it
year.
numerous times. They are
They
going
said
to. They are going to make
they
it.
was gonna compete. They said they was gonna be top 12. They said they was gonna do all this. They said that X, Y, and Z, and they have yet to do any of that.
Yeah,
All they've done is pad the door stat, Travis Hunter stat, and well, Shallow. Yeah. So we Shador, Travis, and Jimmy Horn. Now I will say Jimmy Horn has been the beautiful thing that's come out of this because he's looked very good.
yeah. I definitely think he has a clear cut argument for his draft stock coming up in the
For sure,
offseason.
for sure, for sure.
But I honestly, bro, I'm not. I feel like I need to stay out of this one because I feel like I'm gonna be heartbroken. Because honestly, quite frankly, I want to go alongside you with this Colorado State pick. But at the same time, I'm so over the antics, bro. I'm over the antics from Colorado. Like honestly, like it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. Play football. You came down to Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, to play football. Play your game. All this, all these off
I
the field issues and
ain't
stuff,
not even gonna. Man.
it's
I ain't gonna lie
ridiculous.
to you. I'm with the antics, but back it up. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with it long as you go out there and you ball out.
Honestly, and that's the thing. They're not doing that. Why did I just read a report that and again, if it's not true, God forgive me. Why is this man Dion telling the band they can no longer play after touchdowns? If his son throws or scores a touchdown, they need to play his hit song "Perfect Timing."
Ain't no goddamn hit song.
I exactly.
I
Me
I ain't,
personally, I hate
ain't
this
no
song.
billboard. It ain't a hit song.
I hate it. I genuinely think it's garbage. But why is that your biggest concern? How about you go out there and win the game and let the song play after the game? Why does it have to
You
play
know,
after
like
every time
I've,
y'all score a
I've
touchdown?
come to terms to understand, my brother.
It's a show. It's a
It is
show.
literally because one thing Dion can do, he can get attention, he can fill seats,
Yeah.
get eyes on him. And that's literally what he did. Like I said, I've come to terms
Yeah.
to realize he just came to Colorado to get more eyes on his kids and
Mhm.
Travis in the process. Like, let's
Yeah.
be real. Let's be real. He talked about everything. He wanted to blame everything on everybody except his son. Like, let's be honest. Like, you literally had, like, come on, man. Like, who wouldn't want to play for somebody like Dion, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
You lose your dang near your entire team. Like, you're Deion Sanders. Like, everybody will want to play for you, but then when they play for you and they see how you do, everybody leaves. Like, come on, man. Like some of
See,
them, a couple of them, I would say deserve, whatever. But come on, man. Like
granted, and it's unfortunate. I'm a leave it at this. There was I want to say right after the first season, or matter of fact, it could have been before. But anyway, as much as I hate the guy that I'm about to name, um, because as much as we give Dion slack on this podcast, we also can acknowledge the fact that he is, bringing kids in and having letting them get the opportunity to play college football. But Jason Whitlock did an interview with some of the players that were transferring out of Colorado, either right before the first season or right after the first season. I want to say again, it was right before. And there was a kid that was stating that he was still enrolled at Colorado. He was on a part of the team, but he could feel that he was going to either be cut from the team and already, kind of in the portal. But there was an instance where the kid got on the elevator and Dion got on with him. And the kid was like, hey, hey, Coach Prime, I'm such and such. Nice to meet you. Stuck his hand out to shake Dion's hand. And Dion goes, you mind pressing the third floor or whatever floor it was for me? And the rest of the elevator ride was silent. That I can't respect. I can't respect that as a coach. Regardless, if you don't want a player there, you tell that player, hey, I don't want you to be a part of this program. I don't feel like you're going to be able to contribute. It was great having you a part. Go find somewhere else to play. But when you treat kids like that, the way that kid was treated, I can't respect it as a coach. It's just been nothing but antics. It's just been all talk. They probably won't even make it out of the Big 12 again this year. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Their schedule is harder than it was last year, and they already lost to
And it
the.
showed. I
Yeah,
told y'all, I said last week that first conference game that they played was going to be their toughest battle, and then they still have an entire season to go. Why are
yeah,
you leaving
and,
2 minutes?
they better not sleep on Colorado State because
No,
Colorado
but
State
my thing is,
got a chip on their shoulder.
why 2 minutes into the game, well, 2 minutes left on the clock, you're leaving, going into the locker room. So you mean to tell me you can't be a team player and stay on the field with the rest of your team? I don't care about the excuses of, oh, I wanted to get him checked out or this, that, and the third. Wait. You can wait for the rest of your team to go back to the locker room or get checked out. If you were so concerned about your son getting checked out, you would have sent him earlier. Why is he leaving just now, 2 minutes with left on the clock? Oh, we already lost the game. It doesn't matter. It does matter. You can't wear that L on your jersey to be a leader, and you're not being a leader. That's not a leader. Anyway, that's all I got, bro. That's all I got. I'm not gonna sit here and waste all this time
Right here.
on the podcast
Colorado is
feeding
relevant
into it.
because Dion is there and Dion know how to put people in seats and
Agreed.
make sure. It's
Yeah.
just right now Dion can't control the fact that if they win or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, Dion controlled everything because he could put you in the seat and then show his ability. You're the coach right now.
Yeah.
Let's be real. You could be Nick Saban, and we've seen the last 2 years. You can't make these players do what you want to do because they are on the field. You aren't. Like
Yep.
so for Dion, as much as I've gone with him, I've rooted for him, everything like that. But I see it is literally a stunt to get both his sons, more publicity. Plus, what Travis Hunter is getting. Don't get me wrong, Travis Hunter definitely deserves spotlight. Superstar athlete, great player. If he hadn't went with Dion, he would be playing for whoever else he wanted to at that point, But he showed his loyalty to Dion. Like my thing is, okay, well, how is Shador gonna be when he goes to the league? Because when you go to the league, I mean, you got a choice to go where you want to because your dad is Dion. But you know, in the league, it's much harder. Like you know what I'm saying. And then on top of that as well, uh, would you be who you are if your dad wasn't Deion Sanders? That's my question. You know, he could say yeah all he want to, but no, 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 no. I got it because you literally You know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous, man.
Right, but you
Again,
know, you can't. I lost all respect when he blamed everybody but himself.
yeah.
You know, like, cause
How
it
many
wasn't
how
just a
many
lot.
times was Rayola sacked?
Right.
Tell your D line to step up. Y'all got one step over there.
Like, don't like, come on, like just cause they line might not be that great, cause he sure was moving in the pocket a lot. So it's not that's not his fault. That's not
Yeah,
well, it is his fault, but it you gotta maneuver the pocket. You
yeah.
can't hold the ball forever. He got rid of the ball. From the plays I saw when I'm watching it, he got rid of the ball and he was able to make some things happen, moving up in the pocket and stuff like that. But you talk about you blame everybody but yourself. You blame your line. Okay. When y'all won, did you give your line credit? No.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't take any accountability. You're the quarterback. You're the leader. You do that in the NFL. Them jokers ain't gonna block for you. Like, come on, bro. Like you gotta every part plays a role. Like, okay, yeah, your line didn't do so hot. Okay. So what did you do to combat that? Did you move in the pocket? Did you get rid of the ball faster? I know for a fact you didn't, because that's been your problem that your entire career. You hold the ball 12 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the first game of the season, you set your goddamn receiver up for failure. Called a play that didn't even need to be called and almost got him taken out. And almost cost you the game. So like, come on, man. Like
Yeah.
let's because let this had been any other player that had been on the bench or they'd have been getting scrutinized by the media. So I'm
Oh,
not
but
even to that part.
he's definitely been, getting the jab for sure. Like
Hey,
they've been dogging him out for the last 2 days. Like, cause that's
no,
just not it's
I've
not a
been,
teammate.
I've been seeing it, but I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
saying,
not a
like,
teammate.
you can't do that. Like, I mean, you
Yeah,
can do it, but I just don't. As a quarterback, you're a leader. Like that.
exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like you can't. Like, I mean, even if it was your line, like you don't. You know what I'm saying? You talk to them, you address them.
Hmm.
You know, personally. You don't dog them in front of the entire media. Oh, why did y'all lose? Okay, you know what I'm saying? I could have done better getting rid of the ball, you know what I'm saying? They had a good scheme, you know, and this, that, and the
Yeah,
third, you know. The better team
but
won today.
this
You
this
know what I'm saying? You can dress it up and you know, but I
this has been
digress.
a this has been a long going thing. Again, I'm not going to spend I don't want to spend too much time talking about them because again, this is attention that they kind of sort of want, and it's just
Oh,
I'm
and I'm
not.
gonna get their attention. I'm gonna tune in to keep watching.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
again, I'm
But
going to watch, but at the same time, there has to be a deeper conversation
right,
that's had about this Colorado team
right,
because it's so cruel how bad not only have they treated each other as teammates, how bad they've talked about each other, how bad they've just talked about they're going to do this, that, and the third, and don't do anything. Like
right,
it's enough, like enough with the talk. Play
right,
football. Like
right,
you're only hurting your draft stock. Like that's the biggest thing right now. Your draft stock is what's going to get you a
right.
job in the NFL. So anyway, last thing I want to hit on, bro. This is kind of a lighter moment. Memphis plays Florida State this upcoming week, and I'm super excited about this game. Um, I, bro, I want you to tell me why can't Memphis, bro? What is holding Memphis back from beating Florida State? I don't
Nothing,
think it's anything.
nothing. I think they can
Nothing.
do it. I think they can
Nothing.
do it. I
I
mean,
need I need Memphis to run the score up on DJ
hey,
Williams.
I ain't gonna hold you. Memphis beat Florida State. I'm going to buy me a Memphis shirt. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being
You heard
honest.
it here first. I might listen. I'm gonna get a hat, T-shirt, or something. If
Cause
Memphis,
I played with Memphis on
yeah,
NCAA. Hey man, they fun to play with, and the
Memphis.
jerseys is beautiful.
I need Memphis to get that upset. I need them to get the job done. Listen, Georgia Tech has done it. Boston College has done it. Memphis is gonna do it. That's all I got.
The only
That's all I
thing
got.
is Florida State to finally have some time to sit down and rest and figure out some stuff.
Hmm.
But I see no reason why Memphis can't capitalize on that though on that long weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get it. Memphis. Matter of fact, Memphis 6.5. Let's take it. Hey, I don't know. I ain't got nothing else. I ain't got nothing else for today. I'm I'm taking that. Hey, I'm crushing the spread.
Hey,
I'm
boy,
crushing. I am.
yeah, boy, what was that? Memphis 6.5.
I'm crushing the spread, brother. I'm crushing it this weekend. I am crushing that spread, brother.
Hey
But
man, hey, I'm all for it, man. I got
that's all
Memphis.
I
I got
got.
Memphis over Florida State.
Let's get it. Let's get it. But yeah, man. Hey, if that's all you got, that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. It has been another fantastic episode of the College Couch Podcast. Thank y'all so much for kicking it with us, hanging with us today. Continue to share, like, subscribe, comment, tell us who we need to see, all that and more. Again, y'all make the College Couch what it is. We cannot do this without y'all. Almost about to hit that 1 year mark. Listen, it has been a fun journey so far. I still can't believe we have a podcast. Honest to God, truth, I still can't believe it, but we have so much fun doing it and providing you guys coverage from all aspects of college sports. So thank y'all so much for making our wildest dreams come true. We cannot thank y'all enough. Stackz!
Hey,
My
yo,
brother, take us home.
we appreciate y'all for tapping in with us, checking us out, listen to our antics. I promise you, we're not gonna let you down like Colorado do. But but anyway, man, tell a friend, tell their cousin them to check out the College Couch podcast. Go like, subscribe, share, comment. If you got players that you want us to cover, a team that you want us to cover, somebody that's shining but not getting the shine that they do, let us know. We want to check them out. We want to bring them on the podcast, talk about them on the podcast, get them they like, get them they flowers. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But get what though? We got bills to pay, so we out of here, man. Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I